parsha, we read about the very, very interesting story of Benos Slavchad. There was a man named Slavchad who had passed away, and it's time to give out the inheritance, to divide up all of Eretz Yisrael. And Slavchad's family is forgotten. They're not given a plot of land. And his daughters come forward to Moshe, and they say, Moshe, why should we be left out? Why should our father's name be forgotten? And if you look back at who these people are, when they're introduced as coming from Shevet Yosef. They're coming from Yosef, and we know that Yosef Hatzadik loved Eretz Yisrael so much that he told his descendants, you better take my bones out of Mitzrayim. You better bury me in Eretz Yisrael. That's where I want to be. So obviously this love for Eretz Yisrael trickled down and came to Beno Slavchad, to the children of Slavchad. This was given down. This was their Mesorah, a love for Eretz Yisrael. And they come to Moshe and they say to Moshe, Lama Yigara, why should we be left out? Why should our father's name be forgotten? Now, if you think about these words, there's one other place where we see the same exact phrase show up, and it's by Pesach Sheni. When we read the story of Pesach Sheni, we see all of the Jewish people coming together to celebrate Pesach. They're so excited, except for those who were Tameh. And they're sitting on the sidelines and they're watching all of Klal Yisrael so engaged and so excited to celebrate the holiday of Pesach for the first time since they've left Mitzrayim, remembering just 1 year ago when they actually had Yetzias Mitzrayim. And they come and they say, Lama Nigara, why should we be left out? Why should we not be able to be included in this mitzvah? We want a piece of it too. Now, my husband shared a beautiful idea that I think about all the time with Pesach Sheni. What led the Jews to say Lama Nigara at that moment? What led them at that moment to say, why should we be left out? They've already been Tameh for a few days. And he explained that they looked over at all of the Jewish people so engaged, so excited, so thrilled to be a part of celebrating Pesach, and they said, we want a piece of that too. Look how happy they are. I want that Yiddishkeit for myself. I want that Pesach experience for myself. And so they asked Moshe in that moment, Lama Nigara, why should we be left out? And Hashem heard their words and gave them the opportunity for Pesach Sheni, another opportunity to celebrate Pesach. And we see the exact same thing here happen with Benot Slavchad, the same exact moment. These girls come and they say, why should we be left out? Why should we not be included? Why should our father not have inheritance? And the Mefarshim tell us that Hashem tells Moshe, they understood. They can see something you can't see, Moshe. They understand they are supposed to have this Yerusha. This should be theirs. And they use their words properly. They approach Hashem and they say, we want this, and Hashem hears them. So I'd like to tie the two stories together. At Pesach Sheni, they look over at the other Jewish people celebrating Pesach and they say, I want a piece of that. I want to be a part of it. Look how happy they are. I'd like to intuit that here, Beno Slavchad look back at their rich heritage and say, look how much our Zedi loved Eretz Yisrael. Look at Yosef, what he did to be able to be buried in Eretz Yisrael. We want that same connection. We want to be tied to our roots in the same sort of way. It's all modeled by those that come before us. The people that are around us model the positive, excited Yiddishkeit that leads the people in that moment to live that rich Judaism. This summer, on NCSY Summer, throughout the year, in all NCSY chapters throughout the world, it is our responsibility to be the ones modeling that excited Yiddishkeit. It is our responsibility to be the ones that create an environment that everyone around us says, Lama Yigara, Lama Nigara, why should we be left out? This is our Yerusha, we want a piece of it too. So I give us all the bracha that we should be able to be matzliach, we should be able to be successful in our efforts to model a sincere Yiddishkeit, a Judaism that leads everybody around us to want a piece of it. And so that future generations will look back and say, my Bubby was so proud of her Judaism, I want a piece of that too. My Zaidi was so proud of what he did, I want a piece of that too. My NCSY advisor, Davin, was such kavana, I want to do that too. My advisors had such beautiful midos, I want to have that too. And I feel confident and sure that if this is the Judaism that we model for our children and for our NCSYers and for our students, then the Jewish future will be even brighter than it ever possibly could have been. Have a wonderful Shabbos.